Hello, welcome back to the Microsoft Excel training. In this video, we are going to be looking at the sum product function. The sum product function is a math and trigonometric ratio, function, trigonometric function. Now, this function multiplies corresponding elements in two or more arrays and then sums up the result. This function is widely used for weighted calculations, conditional summing, and of course, advanced filtering. So the way this function works is you provide equal sign, the syntax is equal sign, product, sum product, and then of course you provide the arrays. The key features here is that it performs multiplication and summation in a single formula. Secondly, it handles multiple array efficiently. It can be used for weighted average and then of course conditional summing. It supports Boolean logic for advanced filtering. And then of course it eliminates the need for helper columns in many calculations. The sum product function is powerful in Excel for performing complex calculations. Now, let's look at an example or some examples in the Excel worksheet. So we want to find the total sales of this. So we want to be able to, because we know that if we multiply this by this and then we get the total, and then we have to get the total here at the bottom. But we don't want to skip all those processes and use the sum product to provide the first array, which is the sum amount, and then the second array, which is the quantity. So if we close the bracket and press enter, we'll find that the sum product has successfully done this. So let's see what it has done. What it did was to take this, multiply by this, and then of course, so all this process is what has been done with the sum product. So if you look at this value, it's the same thing with this value. So if I apply number format, you will see that we have 2567273, 2567273. So jumping that process, we jump that process by using the sum product. Now, we want to also do a total by region. And so we can use the sum product to do total by region. And what do? We provide the sum product function. This is a little trick here. So the first thing you want to do is to provide the criteria. So you will bring your region as your criteria. So that is A2 to A31. That is the row. So that is going to be equals to the value you want to use for criteria, maybe east. Okay? So we'll close that bracket. That is for that section of the criteria. So that's an array on its own. And then we're now going to multiply it by this, which is the quantity, the amount first. So that is C2 to C31. And we want to put that in a bracket so that we don't mix them together because of formula calculations. Then we're also going to take for this, which is D2 to D3. So we are multiplying the criteria by, so the multiplication sign gives you access to connect both the criteria, which is text, with this. Okay, so you close this bracket at the end and you hit the enter key, and that of course gives you the sales by region. So what we are saying is if we bring this same calculation, let's say we bring it here, paste. So this is, of course, this is going to shift relatively. So we're going to control it back to the criteria range, which is A2 to A31, A2 to A31, and that's, we're going to say, equals to this reference. So we reference it here. And then what are we multiplying? We're multiplying C2 to C31, C31, okay, blah, 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 okay, by D2 to D31. Okay, so I'm trying to modify that. And then, of course, if I copy this down, okay, I may want to make this range absolute. So I use my function F4 to make this range absolute so that the reference does not shift as I drag the formula downward. So this particular value remain relative because we're referencing this, and when we drag down, it will reference east, north, west, and south. So we copy the formula down, and then of course you have the values for all this. Now let's look at this example here also. So this one says equal sign sum product. So we want to calculate the weighted average of this value, comma, versus this value, and then we're going to divide it by the sum of the weighted average. Okay, and that gives us 34 as the weighted average for this formula. So the weighted average of this is 34. Okay, so this is the sum product function. It's a very powerful function in Excel. All right, so this way we're going to stop on this function. So bye for now.